Timsy, good to have you and your family along here today.
Yeah.
And we're here, of course, because you're the main event at Cage of Fury #2. We usually talk to you before King in the Ring, and that's a big event here in New Zealand, or worldwide known now, and so too Knees of Fury, internationally known. How good is it to be on the Cage of Fury show?
Yeah, really, it's a really interesting show because it's going to be in a cage for one, so it'll be kickboxing in the cage. At first I really was excited about it because I was hopefully going to be on with Carlos and Quaid on the same, and we were all quite close from living in China together and stuff. So, but then I don't know what happened. Like Quaid got injured. I'm not sure what happened with Carlos and his opponent or his match or whatever. So now it's just me, unfortunately. But I still get to see him, which is good.
And what do you know about Matt Vaile? Because he's hailed as the MMA fighter that should be in the UFC in New Zealand that isn't.
Yeah, he's good. I watched quite a few of his matches in preparation for this fight. It's a bit more difficult to get like a read on how he operates because of how mixed his fights are. You know, like there's a bit of stand up, and then there'll be grappling, and then there'll be some stuff on the fence and things like that. So it's a bit more difficult to get a good gauge on the tendencies. But I think I've got a handle on some of them. Yeah.
Of course, you're international and former glory fighter, and you've fought in the big shows. How much of an advantage do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't even consider that, to be honest. I don't really think about my experience in that way. But obviously it comes out like in the actual fight, but I never think like I've got the edge over somebody because I've been under the more important lights than them possibly. But the thing that I do find as an advantage is just that I'm a kickboxer, and this is kickboxing, and this is my world. But that doesn't mean that he's any less dangerous than anybody else that I've fought, for sure. But it's just more a case of like, this is kickboxing, this is my game, so that's the advantage I see, not necessarily the experience under the lights.
Yeah, your experience in the fight game is a lot more than him. He's 12-2. A professional, of course, at MMA, and he stopped 8 and submitted 2 out of that. Only had to go the distance twice. So he's quite an aggressive fighter by the sound of things.
Yeah, he's definitely aggressive. Yeah, in terms of his commitment to shots and stuff like that, he definitely goes for it. I just think though that like kickboxing is a different world in the sense that we fight anybody, you know, like we fight whoever's in front of us, and it's more about the volume of fights than it is about the undefeated record or anything like that. So it is slightly different, like stopping some guys in MMA that have been put in front of you to get you where you want to be, kind of thing, compared to just being put in front of people that are world champions and stuff like that. Win, lose or draw, you're always going to have a hard time in kickboxing, for sure.
It's an important fight for him because he's finding it really difficult. Even though it's kickboxing, if he could beat someone of your stature, it wouldn't do his career any harm at all.
No, it'd be great for him. It would be a really good launching pad for his next match, which is on Eternal. So yeah, this is a really good fight for him in that sense, but this is not a tune-up. I'm not a tune-up fight, so yeah.
Well, we know what it means to him. What's this fight mean to you?
It's a good fight for me because of the name, you know, like it's obviously like, yeah, we're both coming from 2 different worlds essentially, but at the same time, like, he's a big name, and it doesn't matter what discipline we're fighting under. It's just a good name to have on the resume regardless.
Hey, thanks very much for talking to us, coming back from with the family. And,
yeah. This has been the reason why I've been off for a few months, you know, getting this sorted.
She's beautiful.
Yeah,
and
she's a good one.
We wish you all the best on Saturday night. See you down there, mate.
Thanks, mate.
And everybody out there, get along. This is going to be a night to remember.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight for sure.
Are you going to the fights? Are you going to go and watch Dad?
We're going to go down, but she won't be at the fight. She'll be well in bed by then.
Oh, you're going to stay down there, are you?
Yeah, I think I'll stay with Quaid or something.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't realise that you and Carlos and Quaid were all together over there.
Yeah, we used to all live together and stuff.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so it would have been nice to get us all
Yeah.
together.
What year was that?
That was about between 2016 and 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I was there for like 2.5 years.
Oh,
With
okay.
them two. Quaid was on and off. Now, he was there for a substantial amount of time with me, but then he would go on and off after that, and then Carlos was there for quite a while. But he also broke his hand, so he was there for an extra 6 months with a broken hand, just earning money teaching English and stuff.
Oh.
We all lived in the same sort of place and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool.
That's how I got into like thinking, oh, I'm going to go to New Zealand in the
Yeah.
end. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because I had a few friends, like not only meeting Mike over in China and Israel, but then I was training with them all the time anyway. And so then there was always kind of that opening, like, oh, you could come to New Zealand, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
be with your mates.
Where were you living when you were on Glory? Were you still back
I was in China, and then I flew back to England to fight in Glory, and then flew back to China again. Yeah, I like half represented China.
So were you managing yourself back in those days, or?
No, at the time, Glory came through the guy who runs the ISKA, Paul Hennessy. He got in contact with me, and then he just managed me basically for one fight. But it would have been for 2 fights, because it was I was meant to have 2 fights in the Glory, but they cancelled the second show, because I was in the tournament, the Raman Decker's tournament, but they were running it over 2 shows. So I won the first one, and then they were going to put the final on in London, and then they didn't, and then they cancelled it. So as soon as they cancelled that, I didn't have the connection with Paul Hennessy anymore, so I just like kind of left.
Oh.
I left England almost straight away. I was back there. I went back there for it. Hey, and then the moment it got cancelled, I think the next day I booked a flight to America or something. I was like, right, I'm out. I'm just going to travel more and do this. I ended up there anyway. Yeah.
You ended up here?
Yeah. I went to America for a bit with my girlfriend, and then went to Thailand thinking that something might happen there, and then I hated Thailand, and then ended up here.
Oh, I'm glad. You happy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to. Yeah, it's really good to be here. I love New Zealand. Yeah.
Cool.
She's
You got another reason to love New Zealand.
Yeah. Now I have a New Zealand-born child. Right.
Great stuff. Hey, thanks for coming
See you,
back, mate.
No worries,
Appreciate
mate.
that. Really.